Andres Coronel, better known as Immortal Technique, is a hip-hop artist and political activist. Technique began writing rhymes a cappella behind bars when he was 18. Tech quickly changed his life after being sentenced to prison for 1 year. During this period of time, Tech requested as many books be sent to his cell, and his mother sent him books about Latin American politics, and many other educational pieces that had a clear influence in his music. When Tech got out of prison, he started pursuing his rapping career. Felipe started building clout as the most intense and decent animal ever to pick up a mic. Tech was known in the underground scene as being poetic even in his rage-fueled battles. 5 days after the tragic events of 9/11, Immortal Technique released his first studio album, Revolutionary Volume 1. Technique rose out of his reputation as a battle rapper and quickly claimed the title of a conspiracy theorist. Throughout his albums, Immortal Technique is known to speak foul language, talk about extremely controversial issues, and once even blamed Bush for 9/11. Not exactly called him directly responsible because he does claim Bush is pretty dumb, he just thought he played a part in it. He also once told the president of a small Latin American country to kill himself, and then he bellowed a maniacal laugh. What the description I just gave you is merely one side of Immortal Technique, however. He is a good ethical man despite some glaring faults. Technique promotes equality and fights for human rights of all citizens all over the globe. Technique is one of the most vocal underground artists about the evils of corporate greed, especially the censoring and controlling of artists by record labels. Being an underground artist meant he had no label backing him up in terms of funds, so Felipe had to produce and distribute his music alone, a hard task for anyone. Determination is a trait found in all ethical people, and Tech's work ethic reflects this trait. Felipe grew up on the idea of being strong-willed because he had to or he would die. Felipe was born in Peru, inside of a military hospital, but he migrated to Harlem as a child with his family. The gang culture caught his attention when he was young, however, and eventually led to his incarceration. While he may have had a troubled past, an ethical person must know both sides of the argument, according to Mill, and Felipe explored the world of drugs, guns, and violence before he chose to fight for human rights. Technique may have known people like Icy in the past and may have even been friends with them, but now he would be more comparable to Ron from Runaway Girl, talking to troubled youth and trying to help them get their lives on track. Technique speaks at many prisons and can be a great influence on children. He also encompasses Mill's beliefs on From Liberty, as he's the most vocal artist against censorship and puppet rappers. Like Carissa Phelps, Technique used his fame to give back to a community. His revenue from Revolutionary Volume 2 went into building an orphanage in Afghanistan. Technique just didn't donate his money, however. He actually flew out to Afghanistan for several months and helped build the orphanage himself. He put his own sweat and blood into building that, and he knows the kids there. He's a very kind-hearted man. Also, like Chris Phelps, Technique criticizes the fashion industry for its influence on girls. In his song Natural Beauty, Felipe reassures girls that American stereotypes of beauty are not supposed to be imposed on another country. Tech mourns for the corrupted image of a beautiful goddess named Isis from Africa, and now he claims it has been replaced by a lifeless, anorexic white bitch, a product of the American corporate system. Immortal Technique feels empathy with people of all creeds and origins, and his love can be felt throughout tear-jerking songs like You Never Know. In the poverty of philosophy, he claims that his desire for revolution does not come from hatred of his enemies, but from love of his people. A very powerful speech. Revolution is the most important keyword when it comes to Immortal Technique. He wants it, but what exactly is it, and what does he want changed? Primarily, he criticizes the American government for their treatment of immigrants, favorability of the super wealthy, and secretive agenda of keeping their mistakes hidden from the public. Technique wants the system's rules changed because he knows that not all Democrats and Republicans are evil, but if put into an evil system, their souls could be easily corrupted. Even with a troubled past, Technique does not have a corrupted soul. In his song Dance with the Devil, he explores the corrupted mind of a young child named Billy, a boy who liked to sniff coke and fuck movie stars in his dreams. Billy joined a gang, and during the initiation, he ended up raping his own mother. The shocking ending was intended to be a metaphor for how humans treat each other and our own planet. In the point of no return, He elaborates on a dystopian, destroyed Earth that must be viewed from the inside of a dome, a very scary sight. Tech Technique describes a world that has been destroyed by human greed, and his song employs some intense scare tactics. He's not fear-mongering, however. He just speaks truth about what could happen if we continue our current path. In order for us to change it, Technique feels that we must change the rules of the system, not necessarily remove the people there, because he doesn't believe that they're evil, just the system that has been enslaving us. Technique feels a sadness and anger within all people, and he expresses his own through his music. For wanting to spread joy, knowledge, family traits, and for his desire to stop institutionalized racism, improve society, help the planet, and overall increase happiness, just like Millwood, a utilitarian principle. Immortal Technique deserves to be called an ethical man.